50 miles. Farthest I've ever ran is a 50K, which is about 31 miles, and that course was a tad short, so it was really more just under 30 miles total. So this is about 20 miles of uncharted territory. The 30 miles that I ran was back beginning of November, so that was, over 6 months ago. And since then, the max long run I've been able to build back up to is about a 16 mile. So this is 3 times the length I've done anything in the last 6 months. So I recently became a runner just a few years ago, and I've ran, my first 2 marathons were actually virtual. So running this, alone without an actual course is, nothing new to me. But it's definitely more of a mental challenge. You don't have the crowd, you don't have the camaraderie. And a couple unique things about this is that I am running 50 miles around a 5-mile loop that I do almost every time I run. I like it because I can add and subtract. I know extra 1 mile, 2 mile segments. So I can kind of, just loop this, scale it up and down, and I never have to think about my run. I just go out and I figure out how many miles I have to do, and I can do it without having to worry about bathrooms, without having to worry about crossing a lot of stoplights or traffic. It's consistent, and I like that. However, it's gonna make this run significantly harder to keep going. Like I said, 50 miles, 10 laps. It's supposed to rain here starting in just a few hours, and rain on and off throughout the whole night. So majority of this run I'm going to be fighting with the rain. I'm next to the river the whole time, which tends to lead to a little extra wind. But it's all part of the journey. This is an adventure, getting out here on my own. This is a preparation for the Leadville 100, which is coming up here in August, and that is a 100-mile race through the Rocky Mountains. So I don't have the elevation here to train with, being in Minnesota, but I am hoping that I can simulate as much as I can by running hopefully this 50-miler and 1 more before getting to Leadville this year. And I think having 2 under my belt will be give me a lot of confidence going into that race, or more confidence than I had if I didn't do those. Each marathon I've taken kind of a different approach. First one, I really didn't know what I was doing, I was running too hard, not polarizing my training with really easy days, keeping the easy days easy and the hard days hard. So first prep missed the mark on that. Second prep, got a coach, really kind of learned the fundamentals, how a training block is built and the theory behind that. And that went well. The best I had ever got on a marathon was a 3:31. I also got, a 3:36 a little later, that following year. So I'm kind of hovering right around that 3:30-ish is, kind of the best that I've gotten so far from a marathon perspective. But then my personality, I was going to keep pushing time and, over push, and then, dealt with a little bit of bonking. So I thought I wanted to explore the ultra distance because I can, go for a long time, and I can, if I focus more on my nutrition and dial that in, you find that pace that you can lock in, and then you can just go and go and go, and it feels like you can just go forever. So we're gonna put that to the test here with the 50-miler. After I'd done a few marathons, I tried my hand at a 50K last November, the Austin Rattler run down in Texas, and that is that was a qualifying race for Leadville. I did not qualify there, still did very well, better than I was expecting there, which I was very happy about, but didn't qualify there. However, I did volunteer last year out at the Leadville 100, and at the Twin Lakes aid station, got to see it, got to learn the gear, got to see the people, and it got me more and more excited to go. So that's how I was able to get sort of the preferential treatment in the lottery for volunteering, and now I'm excited to have an attempt at running that Leadville 22 coming up. I want to practice some night running, so that's why I chose to start later in the day, because this will give me, you know, ample time while it's nice, kind of get into the rhythm of things, and then really I'm gonna have to dig deep, because it's gonna be uncharted territories. It's gonna be raining, probably. It'll be dark, I'll be by myself, and I'll just be going up and down the river. And that's all I have to say for now. I will keep you updated as I run, but here is to 50 miles. All right, this is everything that's gonna get me through 50 miles. So, as you can see, this is quite the full trunk. I do have a lot of options over here because recently, my soon-to-be wife and I, we recently purchased a vending machine business. So that's why I have all of these snacks, all these drinks. Got basically one of every pop and energy drink you can think of. You know, who knows, I might want none of it, but I'd rather have it and be prepared. I think what I'm gonna rely mostly on are these Stroop waffles by Boone and these G1M Sport, gallon pre-made of lemon lime and a gallon pre-made of fruit punch right here. I've got, you know, kind of a toiletry bag. I'm hoping to brush my teeth a few different times, some duct tape, tweezers, anything else I need. I have my actual running vest, which I'll be running with the whole time, an extra pair of shoes, Hoka Speedgoats 4. Currently, I have the On Cloud Stratus. Been liking these. You know, these shoes that I have are both probably 300 to 400 miles, so they're nearing the end of their life, but you know, nothing about today is optimal. All right, one thing I want to mention here, because not a lot of people, some people talk about it, but not a lot of people, but I love this trick. So they call this the runner's knot, but if you ever wonder why there's 2 holes on most running shoes, once you've come through on the top, weave through on the top one and come down on the bottom one until you have the laces coming out on the inside. And then from there, take the end of this loop and bring it through the middle on each. And now you have through these, and as you tighten them up, now when you tie your laces, you're going to be getting pulled backwards, which holds your heel in place here. And when that does is then because my shoes, my feet swell up, as you know, we're gonna be on this 50-mile journey, this will hold my heels in the back, stop them from continuing to hit the top of the shoe, and allow for a more comfortable experience. All right, 50 miles, here we go. All right, we're 6 miles down, about an hour in, trying to keep the governor on and go slow and just keep chugging. All right, to more miles. All right, we're just under 2 hours. We're at 10.5 miles. So trying to stay slow in the beginning. I've went through 2 G1Ms of each flavor, so a total of 32 ounces. I'm doing 1 scoop of G1M per 16 ounces. So in each 5-mile loop, I'm getting 40 grams of carbs, 700 milligrams of sodium, plus whatever other food or snacks I eat along the way. I have a rule
where I always say the lemon lime is on the left part of my chest, easier to remember, and then the fruit punch goes on the right. The rain pushed back a little bit. Originally was scheduled for 5. Now it's not going to start until 7 o'clock tonight. So I'd say that's a win. And you know, we feel good. So we chug miles until we feel bad, and then we keep going. One thing I love is good honey. So watch this. Local hive, raw, unfiltered, Costco, 5 pounds. All right. Honey's down, grab a banana, put headphones in. This time we're gonna go opposite. We're gonna go backwards on this loop and mix it up a little bit. All right, here's to 5 more miles. This is one of my favorite paths. It's just off of West River Road. Run down, be by the water, be in nature, especially with the lake being, or the river being so high. It's, you feel close, that's for sure. So basically this loop, I'm going up and down East River Road, West River Road, and there's a walking bridge on the north end and Stone Arch Bridge on the south end. Back and forth, back and forth. It's been good so far. All right, we're 17 miles in, third done. We're at 3 hours and 10 minutes and uncharted territory now. This is the longest I've ran in over 6 months, and excited to see how I hold up and go from there. The plan right now is to switch shoes at 25 miles, switch socks unless it rains earlier, and then keep on chugging. Each lap I'm doing still 2 scoops of G1M plus 1 other snack every time. Look at this. We are in a river flood warning. Crazy. So high. Normally you can go out 20, 30 feet out there, all pavement. All these rocks typically exposed out to here. Just ran into Ken's for the first time, seeing and talking to anyone so far. Definitely lifted my spirits. 21 miles in and we're still chugging. These gates seem to be not working. It's part of the loop, so I deal with this every time. I still start sprinting, trying to make it, beat the train, until I find out that it doesn't matter, because for some reason it just keeps going off. I'm definitely more aware now. Took the headphones out for the first time, basically the first 20 miles. I just listened to the My First Million podcast. It's about these two guys, Sam and Sean. They just scheme about business ideas, how to grow them, how to scale them. Seeing them kind of all over, and it's just kind of two guys shooting the shit, and it's fun to kind of just be a fly on the wall in their conversations, and really makes the time go by. It's, you know, 20 miles is never easy, but it was the fastest 20 miles I've ever ran. Part of it is, I think, knowing that I still got 30 to go, but happy to be here and in good spirits. All right, we are about 24 miles in, just under halfway, 4 hours, 37 minutes. And I was just thinking, I'm just about to tap the water pouch. It's only filled it partially full so far, and I've just been sipping as needed. And that was one thing I changed based on the 50K that I had ran. Funny story about that. So it's a 3-lap course, 10-ish miles per lap down in Austin, but in November, so it's a little cooler. But I focused on making sure I got the G1M in each lap. So I had 1 scoop of G1M in each bottle, drank 2 scoops for 10 miles, plus a Stroop waffle. However, I ran the first 2 laps and never touched my water. Ran 20 miles, carried 1.5 liters of water for no reason. I was pissed, but you know, good old Boy Scout, happy to be prepared. So I made sure to tap into it on the final lap and actually saved a couple guys that ran out of water. So it all paid off in the end. But you know, this time I learned, especially with stopping at my car, I'm only putting in, I only put in maybe 3/4 liter, and I've just tapped it out now 25 miles in, because the G1M is really my main source of fluid. And that's been working. It's crazy though, the difference in nutrition for the 10 mile laps down in Austin. I would do 2 scoops of G1M and a Stroop waffle. And this time I'm doing 2 scoops of G1M and a Stroop waffle or equivalent, but every 5 miles. So I'm literally doubling per time, and it's working well. So staying fueled, staying good, staying healthy, ready to go. 25.6. Time for some cheering squad. It's sprinkling. Whoa, what do you gotta say to the people? I don't know. I ain't got nothing. Alright, yogurt mouth. Alright, 25.62. Time for shoe change, sock change, maybe some food. Alright, take the hat off. It's getting windier. We are, I changed shirts, changed shoes, changed socks, put on some more glide stick, whatever that stuff's called. Ready to go. I'm over a marathon, just clicked over, with a little bit of few minute longer break. We're just over 5 hours now, about 26.5 miles, and thrilled to be over halfway, but even more excited to be done. So I got probably 5.5 to 6 hours left, assuming this will go a little slower, and just gotta keep on chugging. My nutrition has felt great. So Big Bear, the BPN team, G1M Sport is a phenomenal product. It works for me. I'm taking 2 scoops basically every hour, on the hour, just kind of drinking them, you know, anytime I'm thirsty, and they're working well. They sit well in my stomach, and we'll keep on keeping on. Catch you in a few. Downtown's looking pretty cool. Just wait till the sun actually sets. Starting to rain a little bit, nothing too bad. They switched on to the Speedgoats, so they're a little more waterproof and or at least water resistant and ready to take on the action. So hopefully this rain is more of a sprinkle and stays refreshing. If it dumps on me, I've got a raincoat, but then they get waterlogged and you're at heavy. It's just not good. So we'll see. If it cools off quick, it's cooling off now, might switch into a long sleeve, but ideally opt for no rain jacket as long as possible. All right. So Stone Arch Bridge, this bridge I'm running on right now, my favorite bridge by far. This part of the loop that I'm doing tonight, it's part of the run that I've basically done every time I've ran in the Twin Cities for the last 2 to 3 years that I've really been into running. Love it. Wow, there's a reconstruction going on next year, which means all of next summer, this bridge is out of commission. Major bummer. So we'll see. Maybe this prep for Leadville will turn me off from being a runner, and I will, you know, find a new fitness hobby and do that for the foreseeable future while this bridge is under construction. But you know, we'll see. Time will tell. We're 29 miles in and still going. All right, we're 2/3 of the way through. You know, right about 33.5 miles. And feet are feeling tender. Miles are slowing down slightly. It's been raining for about the last 2 hours or so, but it should stop here in about an hour. And then the remainder of the night, I should be good to go. But you know, weather can change on a dime, so I got neon to be seen, got a light, except my light bounces as I run, so I just get a kind of headache. So I really only turn it on when I need it, and I'm running with a lot of street lights, so it's not too bad. It's what time is it? It's 9:45. All right, time to keep running. 36.6 miles. See if we can get a view of downtown. Not really working. Back to headphones. Rain has potentially stopped. Waiting to see if it comes back on. After this lap, I will probably change again. 4th shirt. Maybe change socks too, just so I can feel good for the last 10 miles. But excited to kind of keep pushing through. Feet hurt. Took 3 Advil at 20 or at 30 miles, and never really felt them kick in. So maybe that means I'm just hurting more, and it's holding me steady. But gonna keep powering through. Stomach still feels good. Happy about that, and just gonna stay consistent with the nutrition, stay on top of it, and 1 foot after the other. Changed again. Got a new long sleeve on. I got new socks, and I'm still chugging. I don't know if I just said this, I'm getting a little delusional, but 41 miles. I'm at 8 hours, 26 minutes. At this point, I know there is no way I don't finish this. I've still probably ran 95% of this so far, maybe 5% walking, maybe even a little less walking, but feeling good. I'm not afraid to walk the hills. There's just not that many hills on this course. So I think, you know, if I do another 50 miler as a prep, I should, you know, find more of a hilly terrain to start to simulate a little bit more like what Leadville's gonna be. That being said, focus on the now. Got less than 9 miles to go. It's easy. It's let's figure out the time. It's 11:30 tonight, or 11:30 p.m. right now. Been running since 3 p.m. One thing that I found, which is a little peculiar, but I do all these miles slow. Anytime I get a hill, if I'm feeling it, I'll add in a little bit of a stride and get the legs moving, get some speed going. Feels good. And honestly, I'm in less pain when I'm running fast. And now, can't just, you know, sprint the rest of this. Hello, but it's a good mix up. And now back to some slow slog. 43 miles, 7 to go. Walking away from the car I'm at. Eating some Cheetos. Less than 5 miles to go. It is currently, I'm at 9 hours, 26 minutes. It is 12:30 in the morning. Probably gonna finish a little before 1:30. It's been hard, but it's faster than I thought I was gonna finish. Learned a lot. I know I've dialed in my fueling more or less for an hourly basis, what it takes for me to stay on top of electrolytes, fluids, and it's been really humid most of this run, and I've went through 4 shirts, part rain, part sweat. Went through 3 pairs of socks, 2 shoes. Yeah, but the humidity really isn't breaking. I thought the rain would help. It stayed strong. So, you know, within a couple miles, everywhere my vest is just soaked. My back is soaked. But it's all part of it. I got 2 more bottles. The final parts, I just finished off 2 gallons of G1M. Once I finished these, they were a little shy, so I had to top them off with some water. So they're a little diluted, but I still got 8 scoops in that gallon. So I know I got it in me. I'm gonna finish these Cheetos up and get after it. So one thing I do love about Minneapolis is the amount of bunnies we have. Seems weird, but it's kind of pleasant to just see them hopping around everywhere. Really nice. Well, I'm getting slightly delusional, and the fact that I've been, you know, running for close to 10 hours now. But especially now that it's dark, I just see these shadows dart everywhere. And no joke, in this 5-mile loop, because it's by the water's high, bunnies travel in packs. I don't know, but there's probably 75 bunnies that I see every 5 miles. And obviously it's the same ones because I've been doing the same loop, but they've been coming out more and more as it's gotten later and all the people have run away. It's fun to see, but sometimes it freaks me out. So 3.5 to go. Just want to give a little update. Look at that. 49.98. Can't really see me, but 49.98. $50 miles, 10 hours, 19 minutes, 5 seconds. But every run I do, I go 0.13 extra. I was born on the 13th. My golden birthday was Friday the 13th. So I say 13 is a lucky number, not an unlucky number. In the theme of going against the grain and flipping the script. That's what I do. That's what I've always done. So here's to an extra 0.1. time is 1:26 in the morning. We just finished 50 miles. Wow. This is nuts. 9:09. 1. I locked my watch so it won't pause the workout, but now I gotta be sure that I don't miss my 0.13. Got it. There's a lot of movement. So I'm gonna do a debrief here. Once I get back, get some fuel, get out of these shoes, put on some Birkenstocks, and maybe change shirts too, towel off, wipe the sweat off, and I'll be back to talk through the data, what I thought went right, went wrong, what I'd change, and thoughts. But wow, 50 miles. It's a long way. But it just goes to show that I don't hurt that much worse than I did at mile 17. So your pain plateaus. It's all mental. All right, this is the post-run thoughts in a delivery truck bay. It's about the only place that has lighting right now, being 1:45 now in the morning. But just thought I'd get these out while they're raw and give you some data. I maybe had 4,000 steps before I started, and yesterday's total was 84,700. So we're at about 80,000 steps yesterday, and then today we still have another 14. So we're at probably 94,000 steps. Total calories for the workout. Let me tap into that. Total calories for the workout: 6,858 calories. Average heart rate 138. Just about 2,000 feet of elevation gain. You look at that map. I'll put it on the video here, but also show it on screen. It's my favorite loop, so I really didn't get sick of it. I liked the 10-mile loop. It was predictable. I know where all the bathrooms are. I know when I'm getting in my car. I kind of know the areas I can do some strides down. I liked it. It was, I was worried it was going to be a little more of a mental challenge. Knowing that, at any point I could just call it. I had my car, I had my key, just go home. But I knew if I didn't complete this, then I'd really have no chance of completing Leadville. I'd be halfway. In August I'm halfway, and I'm, sitting at 10,000 feet elevation. So it's a whole different beast. But I can get more on point with my training. Come summertime, I should start eating. Minneapolis' skyline, all the lights turn off right around midnight. So it's kind of sad to see the lights go off and then know I still have over an hour of running left for sure. I ended up being about just under an hour and a half. Stomach felt great today. I had
a couple of these bags of Cheetos, a couple bags of Ruffles, maybe 3-4 servings of honey, 2 bananas, a couple oranges, which seems like a lot, but you know, also just based on what I did. And then besides that, the rest were stroopwafels and UNM. So and a Pepsi. Pepsi wasn't sitting well though, so it took me like 30 miles to drink one Pepsi. Because I would come back to the car, have a sip, go back again. I just wanted a little bit of caffeine. I had a lot of room to go. I think I know kind of the paces. I think I started for the first maybe 10, 15 miles in the lower to mid 10s, 10 minutes per mile, and held that for a while. But I think that was maybe a little too fast for the distance that I was needing to go, because I faded into the 11s, but I was able to hold 11 most of the time. My feet hurt, but my feet hurt starting at like mile 16, and so 34 miles of feet hurting, you kind of just go numb to that pain, and you can just keep chugging. And I mean, I think I was getting a little lethargic, but I also go, I'm undertrained. 3 components: your aerobic capacity, your aerobic training, your fueling, or the food you put in your body and the drink you put in your body when you're racing, and then really your mental strength, or your mental ability to kind of distract yourself to keep you going. And for 50 miles at least, I think while the aerobic threshold is maybe more binary, you kind of either have it or you don't, but once you have just the baseline need, then I think it more helps for sure. But the fueling is really the biggest thing that I have found here, and I've continued to hone in on my running career. Nick Baer talks all about that. It's like, hey, if you know how to fuel well, you can keep going, and that's kind of what I found. Like my paces fell maybe a minute per mile on average, maybe a minute and a half from like beginning to end, but way overstretched, and I could hold those through the end. I was running strides at mile 45. I was things that like I never would even think I could do, and it's completely a testament to fueling and fueling well. So everybody's different. What I do is definitely wouldn't work for other people, and maybe it works for other people, and maybe it's exactly what they need. Who knows? But you have to experiment and try until you find what sits well with you and makes you feel good for a long time. This works. I'm gonna buy more UNM. Just pounded through 2 gallons of it. But I'm ready for the next challenge. Hopefully I can walk tomorrow. And the appetite is gonna be raging tomorrow. That's my guess. But maybe I'll exercise or take it away. Regardless, I'm gonna make sure I eat a lot to recover.